Okay, so today you're going to be hearing me talk about the different NPCs and an in particular image which I think covers a lot about this and the different sort of magic aspect of the game and what links between each other. So a lot of people aren't talking about this, I don't think. I might go into the different animals, like the hostile, the friendly animals at the end of this as well, and that'll also cover the mounts that you can ride within the game. And I do just want to make this clear, I have no clue what I'm talking about. I am just sort of looking at what I can find. If it's true or not, I'm not 100% sure, because they're not really letting a lot out, are they? They're being quite quiet about this, so I've sort of tried to see what I could find, and hopefully I can help you guys out, help me out, just like think about this game, because it looks so awesome. Okay, so enough of me rambling. Here we have the Iconography Research concept artwork, and what I want to look at is the thing on the right, circular sort of shape, with all the different magical essence. I call it that because it has that on one of the other concept arts, the Gaia concept art I think it is, and just this one little bit right here says quite a lot, and I think individually each NPC goes into one of the different essence categories, which I'll go into a bit later. But what I can see from this image straight away, it reminds me a lot like the Pokemon system that they have installed. But I can't quite put my finger on it because it's personally just mind-boggling how the system would work. Because if we follow this one, it'd be fire against water, or water against fire. But they surely should be both good against each other, but water stronger against fire. So we could say that going clockwise round, it's going towards your strength, and going anti-clockwise, it's going towards weaknesses. So that could be the possibility. And then the void is just a terrifying thing. It looks like it's the centre of all, like everything's good, strong and weak against it. So if you were to go against something void, like a void dragon for example, you really do not want to go against one of them. We've already seen this in the trailer though. A good example is the fire sword against the Yeti creature in a snowy sort of biome. And that's the gist of the right side of this image. Now we'll go on to the left side, and from what I can see, each sort of symbol refers to a different NPC obviously. So you've got Gaia for the Quebecs as their god. As from this image we can see the god represents water essence, but she must be a kind god because in her locks of hair she has all the other essences within the game. So we're not sure what ferns are, fern made, but the Quebecs, we know they support Gaia as their god because they make effigies for her. So if this is correct, they support her, she is water, and she is just the light side of the whole thing in general. Now, going on to the next one, I'm researching this as I go, so I'm sort of just putting audio in wherever I can, and I'm going to edit this later, because I can't really just do this in one chunk. But now, we're going to go on to this little symbol here, the one that looks a bit like a sort of a creature, an ant sort of thing. So, I'm pretty sure these are the Scarab, because in this image here, we have the Scarab rune right here, and sort of the sand it represents and different things like that, sand palace. So yeah, the brood mother is the queen for the Scarabs. Now, which element could they be under? I've been trying to look at this and I can't really find anything in particular for these guys, but what I can find is these guys enslaved a different NPC race, and that NPC race will be wind, which we'll cover in a minute. So, on my little chart earlier, what is good against wind would be earth, it could be, because these guys are definitely not fire, and they could be earth. I am definitely certain, I'm not sure about the essence, but I'm pretty certain, but I'm certain that these guys are to do with that different rune, that symbol up there, the Sand Empress. I'm not sure if the Brood Mother is the Sand Empress, or these guys took over from them, because the Empress sort of sounds like, well, I guess it could be evil, but I'm not 100% sure of this, but this makes the most sense for this, so, oh, sick. Okay, and now next, which we have the enemy of the Scarabs, is the ferns. Ferns, I'm guessing I'm going to say ferns, which are these little things with massive ears. And we can tell they were the slaves from this little symbol back here. I'm not always reading this, but we know these guys are wind because they are holding braces for wind and freedom. And we know from the other image it says wind freedom. It makes that very clear in brackets. So these have to be related, and these guys, I think ferns, I said I don't know what they are, but now, yeah, I do know what they are, because they are allies of the Gaia. They must be, because they're opposite sides of the circle, and they also make the different effigies, or whatever they're called. I think they're effigies for Gaia, so they must be allied together in that sense, water and earth together. Okay, so I have just realised, I'm looking at things, and there are like 6 main categories on the left, and there are only 6 essences. So ferns and the Scarab, or the Sand Empress, or whatever, could have been allied at some point, but then have turned against each other, so they might both be Earth. Could both be Earth, but then allied with another. The ferns could have allied with another race, the fawns, because that looks quite windy in itself, if that makes sense. A bit weird, but they could have allied with them, and now they class that as freedom as themselves. Or they could technically be fawns, like the babies are fawns and they are ferns, because that's just like how they're trying to move on from their old past. Okay, next we have the Slothians, and these guys are just, there's nothing about them, like nowhere, except I'm pretty sure this image in the trailer, and from this image we can tell they are underground, and I am certain this is underground and not just something else, because in this other concept art it says on level 3 is a Slothian village, and these guys look a lot like sloths. So I'm pretty sure there's not much more about these guys. I'm trying to find it right now, but I can't find a lot else that is going on with this. But these guys, this symbol, they live underground in their little villages. They look quite peaceful. Oh, what essence do they go to? Let me think. I've got to try and find this now. Okay, I couldn't find anything for that moment, but now it's getting even worse, to be honest. The Varyans, now we have, which is the evil mark, and then you can contain the evil mark. We've only got this image that I could find so far. I'll have another look in a minute, but from what we can see, they look pretty evil, and there's no colouring, so we can't tell what sort of thing they're from, what essence. But I'm pretty sure this image of the Outlanders post and different Outlander stuff, which has to do with the void in somewhat, could be this Varyn's place, but it's called Outlanders because outcasts from other races and NPCs could come here and sort of just try and open a portal to the corruption, or the void as we call it, and it corrupts the land. And the Varyn mark can also be contained, so I wonder if when it opens, or the evil shaman, because shamans are part of the ferns as well, so evil ones of them could come along and then open up this portal, the corruption spreads, and we've got to try and contain it before it gets too out of hand. That could be, in my opinion, what might happen, but that's the only thing we can see with the Varyans. There's like, these are the default ones that might convert other guys, so I'm not too sure from there. Okay, so I was just listening to myself, and these Varyans, whatever, while I was just talking about them, I had no information, like there's no confirmed facts about these. Like, I've just sort of rambled on about my mind, I've just listened to myself, and it's just like, it makes sense a little bit. I could see where I'm coming from, but it's just, there's nothing else to link these two together. So just take what you can from it, and let's just see the final one. Okay, now the final one I'm going to be talking about, because the fawns symbol, I could not find anything about the icons for that. So the Trorks, which I'm guessing are like troll orcs sort of thing, that's the only thing I can think. Element towards it, it's red, it could be similar to the fire, well, because we know from images that there are multiple classes to these guys, which could go throughout the whole thing. We could have different shamans and warriors, sentries, hunters, chiefmen. Is that chiefman? I can't read. But so we know that, and we've already had a little bit of combat with one of these guys, where it looks very much like one. It looks maybe like a warrior one, because I think he had an axe, or it was a hunter because he had a sword, but there was no wolf. I don't know if multiple classes can have a wolf as a pet, or it's only the hunter which can have that. And I don't know, as an individual, you can be all the classes, or you have to sort of dedicate yourself to one of them. Anyway, I'm going off topic. Trorks. From this image here with the Trorks, this might look like their village of some sort of fort area, like a watchtower maybe, and then a house or a hut of some sort in the background. I'm going to see if I can find another image right now, but that's all I've got for these guys so far. So that's pretty much the gist of this image at the moment. So we've covered everything except the fawns. Like, I'm really not sure. I'm guessing it's too confusing. So I could go through a trailer, which I'll probably do as well, like everyone else, and just rant about everything that I can see, but I thought I'd do something a bit unique, give some people ideas of what could happen, what could not happen. There's so many possibilities of this. It's just, Hytale is going to be so good from Hypixel. If you want to watch the trailer and go to the website to look at all these images that I've been showing you, I'll link them in the description. Alright, I know I said I was going to go into some of the different mobs and stuff, but this has already gone off like nearly 10 minutes odd, so pretty much I think I'll leave something for the next video. If you agreed with anything in this video, just, share it and stuff, get people to know. Make sure to bring them back to my channel, look at my awesome editing, because this is definitely going to be great. I can tell from the audio work that I'm doing right now, it's going to be beautiful. If you agree, disagree, have any other opinions, just drop them in the comments. And thank you for listening to my weird, wacky ideas. Cheers, yeah.